Before it screens at Dallas International Film Festival, I'm joined by director-screenwriter Alysa Nahmias to talk about Cookie Queens, a coming-of-age documentary that explores the pressure, competition, and life lessons learned in the surprising high-stakes world of Girl Scout cookie season. Welcome, Alysa. I really appreciate this interview.
Thanks, Patty. Thanks for having me.
So tell us about Cookie Queens, how you came up with the idea, how the idea of the film got started.
Of course. So Cookie Queens is my fourth feature documentary as a director, and my other projects have been, I wouldn't say like heavy hitting, but they're arts and culture, but with, more adult themes. Like recently I had directed a film that took on mass incarceration and was about artists who were making work inside prison. And I had produced another film that dealt with mental health and conservation. And my kids at the time were, I think they were 10 and 12 years old, and they watched Art and Crimes by Crimes, and I was like, what'd you think? They said, we love the film, but Mom, also, it was like, we wondered if you could make your next film something that our friends would actually want to watch, like that we could tell them about. I was like, at first a little bit it felt a little bit of a sting, and then it was like, oh, actually, that's an interesting proposition. So I sort of kept that in my artist antenna. And so that's when I was talking with my friends, Michael Dweck and Gregory Kershaw, who are producers on Cookie Queens, and Michael had been sold a wild amount of Girl Scout cookies by this plucky young woman. And he was telling us about it and saying, well, it could be an interesting world for a film. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was almost like lightning. Like that's it. That's a project that my kids would be interested in. And also for me, it was a way to look at girlhood and the economy and the perceptions around girls and women who do business. And looking at it through childhood was a way to look at it in a bigger way that I felt could be relatable for everyone.
Some of your other films have been around institutions, and the Girl Scouts of America is a huge institution. Did you learn anything about it that surprised you?
The institution of Girl Scouts is very formidable. It's been around since 1912. I learned so much about it. And it was, a journey to get into the culture of Girl Scouts. I love one of their mottos that I learned early on, which is not asking for permission since 1912. And I was like, I can relate to that, just going with what you believe in, making it happen. This sort of idea of not asking permission really resonated with me. And I feel like the girls in the film are like that, where they're very respectful, very smart, very good with people, and also they're not waiting for anyone else to tell them it's okay to do what they want to do in this life. So I think that ethos and the ways that girls, and also just how wildly popular Girl Scouting is and how many people, it's 1 in 3 American women alive today have been a Girl Scout. I don't know if you were, but yeah. And I think, so it's I was again, I was like, oh wow, I'm in this actual real minority among American women, and it's something that so many people can relate to. So I had no idea just how important it is to so many people.
Do you think that the sales process that you put the Girl Scouts through really helps build their confidence, or does it bring out the different personality traits?
I think the cookie program is about both confidence and pressure, and there's also a lot of reward and confidence building and resilience building. And so with cookies, it's fun because you can look at something that's seemingly very low stakes, but it can be made very high stakes. And I think just like in anything, there are Girl Scouts and parents and troop leaders and who go overboard, who probably put too much pressure.
Yeah, that was my question, is the pressure part of it a positive or a negative thing? That pressure of making sales.
Yeah. I mean, look, for some people, they're going to feel it as a real negative. For other people, they're going to feel it as a motivator. I think it's a similar question to saying pressure in kids' sports. I'm not even trying to dodge them about Girl Scouts, but I think it's less about that specific thing and more about the dynamics of how we think about, challenging our kids to be the best they can be, but also nurturing them and respecting the sacredness of childhood and of play.
Well, so it's sort of like a crash course in capitalism, and also like a microcosm of what life's going to throw at you. And so in essence, that it's helping them prepare for both.
It's very early exposure to not just selling things and the tactics and techniques and that requires, but also to the responses you're going to get and how those responses might be pretty intense for girls and women.
Well, how did you choose the 4 Girl Scouts?
The call was, who is passionate about cookie sales? It didn't have to be that you sold a lot, numbers wise. Who is very passionate about cookie sales? And then also, I was looking for kids that had interesting things going on in their lives and their dynamics with their friends or with their families. I wanted a diverse set of experiences geographically in terms of their backgrounds, their ages, to really get at this idea that what we have, we have so much that makes us so unique and so different from each other. And we also have a lot that we have in common. Yeah. And I was interested, especially in these times, in telling a story that shines a light on our idiosyncrasies, our singularness as people, as communities, and also what we have in common.
Oh, we need to talk real briefly about two of your executive producers who are pretty famous, right? The Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex. How did that come about?
The Duchess loved the project because she was a Girl Scout actually here in LA when she was a kid, and her mom was her troop leader. And so when she saw some early materials that were shared with her company and her head of production, they all really felt like she felt a personal resonance, I think, and they all felt like it was something that they could get behind. And we are grateful. I think it's amazing to have someone who is a high profile, amazing Girl Scout alum on our team. And they've been super supportive.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be on April 25th at Dallas International Film Festival. We'll put a link to the passes below. And thank you so much for this interview.
Thanks, Patty. It's great to be here, and I'm excited for the audience in Dallas to see Cookie Queens.